One Marvel villain pretended to be a hero and led a team for months without raising suspicion. Another rewrote their own origin to hide the truth, even from their closest allies. These weren't retcons. They were in-universe lies that slipped past the Avengers, X-Men, and even S.H.I.E.L.D. They infiltrated, deceived, and reshaped entire storylines, all while readers watched it unfold. So, who managed to con the entire Marvel universe, and how did Marvel shock its readers in the process? Here are 10 of the biggest in-universe frauds Marvel ever published. At number 10 is Aunt May's fake death. In 1995, Peter Parker watched Aunt May die in his arms. It was one of the most emotional moments in Spider-Man comics, until it was exposed as a lie. In reality, Norman Osborn had kidnapped the real May and replaced her with a dying actress, genetically altered to fool even Peter's spider sense. The fraud wasn't just a trick on Peter, it fooled fans too. For 3 years, readers mourned her, believing the goodbye in Amazing Spider-Man issue 400 was real. But in 1998, Osborn revealed the truth. May was alive, and her death had been part of a psychological attack on Peter. Fans were shocked. Some felt betrayed, others saw it as the ultimate villain move. Peter, meanwhile, was devastated. His grief had been manufactured, his trust shattered. The actress died for real, and May returned to a world that had already buried her. It wasn't just a fake death, it was a complete emotional hoax that blindsided readers too. At number 9 is Electra's Scroll impostor reveal. In New Avengers issue 31, Electra was killed, only for her body to transform into a Skrull. This was no disguise. The Skrulls had abducted the real Electra and replaced her with a shapeshifter for months. The impostor led the Hand, fought the Avengers, and even fooled Wolverine and Doctor Strange. When Echo killed Electra, the truth stunned everyone. The New Avengers were shaken. If Electra could be replaced, anyone could. The Hand had followed Skrull orders, not Electra's. Echo suffered trauma. Tony Stark's discovery of the corpse spread paranoia across the superhero community. This single fraud shattered trust and triggered secret invasion. Fans were blindsided. No leaks, no clues. The twist was tightly guarded. That final page, Electra's green, lifeless body, was a bombshell. Readers immediately began questioning every character's identity. Electra's Skrull double didn't just deceive heroes, it fooled everyone. And for fans, it marked the exact moment the invasion began. At number 8 is the Hobgoblin's secret identity. The Hobgoblin mystery was one of Marvel's longest-running cons. Roderick Kingsley, a corrupt fashion mogul, became the Hobgoblin after discovering Norman Osborn's goblin stash. But instead of taking risks, he brainwashed Daily Bugle reporter Ned Leeds to act as his stand-in. Under hypnosis, Ned unknowingly carried out missions. Kingsley's manipulation led Ned into dangerous territory, where he was assassinated, making him the perfect scapegoat. Everyone, including Spider-Man, believed Ned was the villain. Betty Brant, his wife, was shattered. Flash Thompson was falsely accused. Peter blamed himself. Years passed before the truth came out. In 1997's Hobgoblin Lives, Kingsley was finally exposed and arrested, clearing Ned's name, but too late to save him. Readers were fooled too. For over a decade, they believed Ned was Hobgoblin until the retcon revealed Kingsley's deception. It was a masterclass in manipulation with a body count to match. Kingsley didn't just wear a mask, he used others to wear it for him, leaving ruin in his wake. But the next 3, their lies didn't just fool heroes. They rewired entire teams, broke identities, and rewrote Marvel history. At number 7 is Zorn, the X-Men's biggest betrayal. He came to the Xavier School as a peaceful mutant with a metal mask, claiming there was a star inside his head. For months, he fought alongside the team, helped students, and even healed Professor Xavier. But in New X-Men issue 146, the truth came out. Zorn was Magneto in disguise. He had faked his identity, gained their trust, and built a secret following. Then he attacked New York, caused blackouts, and killed Jean Grey in front of Cyclops. Wolverine had to kill him to end the chaos. The X-Men were devastated. They had welcomed him into their home and lost friends because of it. Readers were shocked too. Zorn felt like a real character until he pulled off the mask. Later, Marvel claimed it wasn't the real Magneto, just someone pretending to be him. But that doesn't change what we saw. The heroes were fooled, and so were we. At number 6 is Baron Zemo's biggest con. After the Avengers and Fantastic Four were believed dead, Zemo rebranded his Masters of Evil as a new superhero team. He called himself Citizen V, and his fellow villains took fake hero names, pretending to protect the world. The public had no idea. Even S.H.I.E.L.D. welcomed them. But the biggest betrayal? Jolt, a real teen hero, joined the team, thinking they were genuine. She trusted them, looked up to them. Then, everything collapsed. When the real Avengers returned, Zemo revealed the truth on a public podcast, thinking the exposure would force his team to stay loyal. But it backfired. His teammates, changed by their fake heroism, turned on him. They helped stop Zemo's mind control plan and tried to earn real redemption. The world was shocked. Marvel fans too. That final page reveal in Thunderbolts issue 1 still stands as one of the greatest twists in comic history. At number 5, Spiderwoman was never Spider-Woman. From 2005 to 2008, Jessica Drew was part of the Avengers, but she wasn't real. The woman on the team was actually Queen Varanki, leader of the Skrulls, who had copied Jessica's powers and memories. The real Jessica had been kidnapped and replaced. Meanwhile, Varanka operated as a deep cover agent, feeding false information, manipulating missions, and steering the Avengers toward mistrust. She helped trigger the invasion by planting mistrust, including the Skrull Elektra corpse that shook Tony Stark. The Avengers had no idea their teammate was the enemy. Jessica Drew was the one most affected. Her identity was used for espionage. Her reputation was damaged. When she returned, even her closest allies didn't fully trust her. The deception ended in Central Park, where Varanki was exposed and killed. But the fallout was severe. S.H.I.E.L.D. collapsed, Osborn rose to power, and hero trust broke down. Marvel readers were fooled too, realizing they'd never seen the real Spider-Woman at all. At number 4 is Red Skull became the U.S. Secretary of Defense. After the events of Onslaught, Red Skull returned in disguise as Del Rusk, a high-ranking government official. The name itself was a clue, an anagram of Red Skull, but no one noticed. From this position, he released a lethal bioweapon at Mount Rushmore, killing hundreds. The Avengers rushed to contain the Red Mist, unaware that the man in charge was their enemy. Black Panther finally exposed him, tearing off Rusk's face to reveal the skull. Falcon was nearly choked to death in the fight. Civilians, park rangers, and even Henry Gyrich were among the casualties. The government was humiliated. Red Skull escaped, but the damage was done. Trust in institutions collapsed. The Avengers survived, but barely. And for the readers, most didn't realize the truth until the unmasking. Marvel put one of their deadliest villains in a suit and tie, and made us trust him. The last 3? These weren't just frauds. They shattered Peter's world, rewrote Avengers history, and nearly broke the Hulk. At number 3 is Spider-Man's Crulest Heartbreak. In the early 90s, Richard and Mary Parker seemingly came back from the dead. Peter cautiously let them in, then fully embraced them. But it was a setup. The parents were life model decoys, sent by Chameleon under Harry Osborn's orders to break Peter from within. When the truth came out, Peter suffered a breakdown. He destroyed the androids with his own hands, reliving the loss of his parents all over again. The LMDs even attacked him, forcing Peter to destroy them, reliving the death of his parents a second time. Worse, the mother android developed genuine maternal feelings and died saving him. Readers were devastated. Marvel stretched the lie over 2 years, fooling fans into hoping it was real. Some doubted, but others believed. When the truth hit, it shattered not just Peter, but everyone who rooted for his happiness. This wasn't just a villain's trick. It was emotional warfare, and readers felt every blow. At number 2 is Skrull Hank Pym, the gritty Knoll impostor. For years, this alien took Hank's place pretending to be a hero. This Skrull operative perfectly mimicked Pym's appearance and memories. He stood beside the Avengers, gave commands, and even helped build the 50-state initiative. But behind the scenes, he was sabotaging everything. The worst part? He gave Janet Van Dyne, his ex-wife, a fake growth formula. And during battle, it turned her into a living bomb. She died in front of everyone. Even Reed Richards was attacked and nearly killed by this fake Hank. The real Pym was locked away the whole time. When the truth came out during Secret Invasion, it destroyed teams, trust, and lives. The initiative collapsed. Heroes were shaken. Hank blamed himself for what happened in his name. Readers had their suspicions, but no one saw the full damage coming. It wasn't just a fake hero. It was one of Marvel's most personal and painful lies. At number 1 is Meeks' lie, the betrayal that led to World War Hulk. On planet Sakaar, Hulk had everything: peace, a wife, a child on the way. But it all ended in fire when his shuttle exploded, destroying millions, including Kyera. Hulk believed Earth's Illuminati caused it, so he returned to wage war. But the truth? His closest ally, Miek, knew the truth all along. Miek had seen the real culprits, loyalists from Sakaar's old regime. But he stayed silent, because deep down, he didn't want peace. He believed Hulk was born for destruction, not love. That one silence sparked a global war. Hulk nearly destroyed the Avengers. Manhattan was torn apart. And when Meek finally confessed, the rage vanished. Hulk broke. Everything he'd done was built on a lie. Readers were stunned. For 5 issues, they stood with Hulk. We believed in his pain. Then Marvel pulled the rug. It wasn't revenge, it was a tragedy. One lie turned the strongest hero on Earth into its biggest threat. Don't miss the next twist Marvel never wanted you to remember. If you liked the video, hit the subscribe and like button and press the bell icon for regular updates.